Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, October the 20th. Can you believe it? Oh, goodness. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and in our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. For our prayer and healing circle, our topic for today is healing from humiliation. And let's go ahead and come into our prayer and healing circle. As we come together, sitting shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together in our circle. As we come together in our circle, let's begin by focusing on breath. And as you focus on your breath, just notice your inhale and notice your exhale. And as you breathe in on your inhale, just notice how your body expands, how your rib cage expands, your lungs expand. Notice what wants to expand and what doesn't. Notice what moves and what doesn't. And just be present with that. And let's take a minute and wiggle your toes and stretch your feet. And feel your presence all the way into the soles of your feet. And again, as you focus on your inhale, just kind of take an inventory or just a witness of your body, where you feel your presence and where you don't. Just noticing. You can take a minute and stretch out your arms and your hands, your fingers, circle your wrists, and feel your presence all the way into the palms of your hands, the tips of your fingers. And as you inhale, now bring all of your attention to face the center of our circle. You're facing the center of our circle with all of your senses, with your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, all of your sensory organs facing into the center of our circle. And inhaling in, and as you exhale, just let yourself drop into your body and notice your heart center. And let's bring the heart center, that funnel of energy at the front of your chest, bring that to face the center of our circle as well. And as you inhale in, again, exhale, drop down into your body and invite your belly to be present also. As you drop into your body, just feel your presence drop into your pelvis. Feel the seat beneath you. Feel your presence in your space. And bring your belly, just invite it to rest into this circle with you and with us. And together, let's call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We call on our source. We call on the one, the most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you directly. We ask you to please send your essence of your pure divine light to stream into the center of our circle. Streaming in, just imagine, feel, perceive, in whatever way you do, perceive this light, this stream of light streaming into the center of our circle. And just feel this light coming in and filling all of the container of our circle with this essence of pure divine light. Streaming in, filling all of our space with pure divine light. And as you turn your face and all of the sensory organs from your face directly into the center of our circle, into the stream of light, and allow all of your senses to be met with this stream of light. Your eyes to be met with light, to clean your seeing. Your ears to be met with this light, to clean your hearing. Your nose and your sense of smell to be met with this light and cleansed of all of its associations with your sense of smell. And same with your mouth and your sense of taste and texture. For all of that to be met with this light and to be cleansed. And as you inhale this in, breathe in this vibration of pure divine light. The divine attribute for light is An-Nur, Nur. That's N as in Nancy, you are Nur. Breathe in this essence of the divine light, An-Nur. Let it fill your lungs. Let it surround your heart and penetrate into your heart. And as you exhale, relax, release, and soften, and just allow your exhale to wash away or carry away any of the excess clutter from your heart space and from your lungs and from all of your sensory organs, from the core of your body, wherever it may come from. And as you inhale, draw in this essence of this pure divine light, letting it fill your lungs, infuse into your bloodstream, into your oxygen in your bloodstream, and be delivered to every cell of your body, taking this nourishment, this divine nourishment of pure divine light to every cell of your body. And as you exhale, relax, release, and soften, allowing everything to be cleansed, releasing any of the blocks and barriers. The poet Rumi says, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers that you have built against it. And in releasing the barriers, as in finding the barriers, we release the barriers so that the divine light and the life force energy and the love, unconditional love, can flow more freely through our bodies, through our hearts, through our words, through all of our senses, through our presence, our pure existence on planet Earth. Breathing in this essence of this pure divine light, and as you exhale again, bring everything, all of your senses, your heart center, and your belly to face into the center of our circle. And from our hearts, again, we call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you directly. We ask you to send your essence of your unconditional love. And again, imagine this stream of unconditional love and this divine light streaming into the center of our circle. And begin to focus your breath through your heart center, as if that funnel of energy at the front of your heart space is a breathing portal, and you're breathing in this essence of unconditional love, this vibration of unconditional love, breathing into your heart center. And as you exhale, relax, release, and soften. And allow your heart center to relax. And again, to be cleansed of any of the blocks or the barriers. Letting your exhale carry away and letting it just fall into this ocean at the center of our circle where it can be cleansed and purified, trusting in the divine and all of the angels and the prophets and the helpers and the healers and the guides and the saints and the perfected ones who are here to help and guide on this journey, just trusting in their wisdom and in their power to take this and to transform it, transmute it, to return it to wherever its rightful place is in this vast universe, this multidimensional universe. And again, breathing in this essence of pure divine light, letting it go deeper into your heart center with each breath. And as you exhale, relax, release, and soften, and allow this pure essence, this divine light and unconditional love, to stream all the way into the core of your body, the very center, the vertical core that runs from the top of your head through your base. And let this core be infused with and filled with this essence of pure divine light and unconditional love. And again, as we bring all of our focus together, we call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of eternal compassion, sending your eternal compassion to stream into the center of our circle, to fill our circle with this ocean of divine compassion. And the sound code for compassion is Rahman. The divine name is Rahman. Rahman, the divine compassion. It is the ocean of compassion that exists before our time-space reality and after our time-space reality, and is the ocean that contains this existence that we live in and subsist in on this material journey on planet Earth, this physical realm. So we call on the eternal compassion, and we breathe that in. Focus your breath. Again, breathing in this essence of eternal compassion, taking it all the way into the core of your body, letting it cleanse and purify your body, your mind, your heart, your soul, your spirit, and your belly. Compassion is a very important one for the belly. Just let your belly rest in this ocean of compassion, to feel held, to feel loved, to feel accepted, to know that it is fully loved right where it is, no matter what. Breathing in this essence of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion as you breathe this in, drawing it into the core of your being, and exhale, let yourself just drop down again into your physical space, resting into your own pelvic space. And exhale. With each exhale, just drop in deeper. And with each inhale, draw in more of this essence of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion, allowing it to infuse into all of your cells, to cleanse your cellular consciousness, and to fill all of your being with this pure essence. Continue with that breath, and I'll read from our topic today is healing from humiliation. So yes, I do have books. Okay, not reading yet, but healing from humiliation. Our humiliation is one of those topics that probably at first you think, ick, right? I know I do. I've had my share of humiliating experiences for sure. And sometimes I think more than others. And you know, that humiliation is one of those things that can stay with you, where you feel like when you have experienced humiliation, that it's like a coat that you wear, an invisible coat. And you think that, well, you know, I know this about me and I feel this about me, and everybody saw it and everybody knew it. And that's why I had to hide from it. It was so hard, right? I had to hide from it. And when in my hiding from this humiliation, it's like everybody saw it, so everybody must still see it. And I can feel that when I go everywhere or go wherever I go, that people are seeing this and they're experiencing this, and they know this about me. Even if it was 50 years ago, everybody still knows, because I'm wearing this coat of humiliation. And it feels like that. it can be one of the most unpleasant experiences that we go through on this earth journey, but yet, because we are human beings, we do go through this experience on this earth journey, and nobody really gets out of this earth journey without that experience. We all have these things that we have to go through. And as the divine would have it, when we heal from humiliation, this process of healing, it can bring about it can take us so deep into the core of ourselves that it brings about a really profound experience of self-realization, and from that can come a beautiful empowerment. So there is hope. There is great hope. And that's really important because, if you are a teenager or someone who is really suffering, struggling, or a child, or if you have teenagers and children, really pay close attention to this, because in our discipline of our children, however well-meaning it can be, especially if it's done in a shaming way or in a public way, it can be really humiliating for our children. Or if our children experience bullying or teasing from their peers, it can be really humiliating. And, when I hear about the rate of teenage suicide, or in suicide even in preteens and young children, it is heartbreaking. And I'm sure you feel that too. It is heart-wrenching. And so I think it's really important that we understand humiliation and the nature of humiliation and how powerful it can be. It can really impact our young children, and then it stays with us for life. And, a lot of studies have shown, and I don't know if you even need studies to really tell you this because you can feel it, but studies have shown that humiliation, especially public humiliation, is one of the most cited factors in reasons for suicide in our young people. So it's one of the things that, if you're carrying it, because it can ripple out in really icky ways, if your children are experiencing it, this is going to be a powerful healing for you today. If you recall a time in your life where you felt humiliated, and I believe we've all felt it and can recall. And if you can do that without having yourself relive it and go into a humiliating experience, then, let yourself feel it. You probably felt yourself really shrink. Like just, it's that you want to become so small that you can shrink into nothingness and nobody will ever see you in your feeling of shame, your feeling of humiliation, that diminished state of weakness. You want to disappear. This is the nature of humiliation. And humiliation, just like shame and guilt, when we feel that feeling, the nature of it is to want to hide. So the energetics of it that we take on in our bodies, the energetic is to want to hide, right? And the energy itself, the nature of the energy, is an energy of hiding. Just like shame and guilt, it wants to hide, and it makes it really tricky to access the energy. Yet we can do this. And when I think with these feelings like humiliation, shame, guilt, the ones that hide, using the divine attributes to heal is really powerful, because the divine attributes can get into these places that we hide from ourselves, and they can wash those places of that really icky factor, so that we can be present and allow those places inside of ourselves that are hiding to receive the healing. Now, let me explain more about what all of this means. And if any of this is, as you're hearing this, if this is bringing up uncomfortable feelings, just return to that breathing in that essence of divine light and unconditional love and eternal compassion. And remember that, let that be washing your heart as we're dealing with and, talking about this subject that can be uncomfortable. Now, just a little bit more about the nature of humiliation. When that part of us shrinks into nothingness, right? And we naturally want to hide. That part of us that is wanting to hide, it's natural to want to protect it from further pain, right? We suppress that part of us and deny that part of us that is hiding because it feels so uncomfortable, right? And when we do this, this ripples out into our lives in a number of ways. You know, you may have like forgotten what happened long ago that caused you this humiliation. And how it shows up today may be that the feelings of unworthiness or of self-loathing, or, you know, feeling that just a lack of confidence or an absence of confidence, and feeling hopeless. Like there's just no way that you can show up and really take up space and be received in any positive light. It's a really hopeless feeling. Or we could compensate, you know, like shove that down and then compensate with the boosted ego, showing up with arrogance or bullying, or you know, even inflated stories, making up stories about ourselves, or, you know, things that happen to make us feel that we're important or successful or accepted, even, right? Than we truly believe ourselves to be. It's about what we believe about ourselves. And, you know, I know it's really painful because I have a great nephew that I know has really struggles with this. And I see him do this. And I remember a time in my life when I actually went through a phase of making up stories as a child to make myself feel like I was uh, just worthy of being liked. Like that, you know, I had to make these things up if I expected anyone was ever going to like me at all. And going into a new environment and a new situation, it just seemed like that was my only hope. And I see him playing that out. And, you know, on the one hand, well, I can see it in him. I can help him to heal from what he's struggling with. And I can also go back and heal those places in myself that experienced the same. And I hope this to be true for you too. But how do we access the things that are so deeply buried, especially when they have occurred in the distant past? This is with the divine attributes. The divine attributes they're the qualities, the attributes of the divine that emanate from the source of oneness, of unity. And they exist within the life force that is the energy that gives life to our physical forms and consciousness to our human experience. It's that breath of spirit that breathes your soul into your body and gives you this life experience. It's the breath that breathes your lungs and beats your heart. It's that breath. And that breath it's like breath of spirit, and it contains all of the knowing of the divine attributes within it. And the divine attributes are many. They're infinite, right? There are the love, the light, the divine light, the unconditional love, the eternal compassion. They're the forgiveness. They're the beauty. They're the majesty. They're the gratitude and the glory, and all of these beautiful things that we experience. And they are, like I said, they're infinite, right? They're all of the things that uh, that are at the root of all of the things that we experience on this earth's journey, that, you know, first actually separate us from that knowing. And then in the healing process, we can return to that knowing, as our sole purpose here is to, not our sole purpose, but the purpose of our soul here is to gain knowledge of these attributes that are embedded within the essence of our existence, right? And that's part of what this earth journey is about. So we can call on these divine attributes, and when we call on them, we call on the divine names in their sound codes. And we bring these sound codes. This is like one of my teachers calls it sonic theology. It's using the sound codes to bring healing to the places in ourselves that need the healing. And this is why sometimes it's good to allow ourselves to feel, and sometimes we can use these sound codes just to wash away the pain so that we can allow ourselves to feel. So the sound code produces a vibration, right? And the vibration that it produces is it produces the frequency of the energy of the thing that it names, right? When we speak the names in a sacred language, this is what it means to use a sacred language. Is it actually we're using the sound codes that invoke the energy of the things that they name. Okay, so we have two qualities that we're going to work with today and that we're going to do recitation with. And I wrote them into, whether you're on the website or you've received the email or you're on Facebook, you can see them written. We're going to start with al-Khafid, and that's spelled K-H like K, and K-H-A-F like Frank, I-D as in David, Khafid. And I'm going to read from Sufi Book of Life by Neil Douglas Klotz on al-Khafid, which is diminishment. He says of al-Khafid, when you are guided to this pathway, take the opportunity to honor the part of your being that may feel small, immature, depressed, or diminished. This is the part that has wanted to hide, that has been hidden. Sometimes life just makes us want to hide. You may find it surprising that, and he puts in quotes, divine depression is one of the names of the beloved. Yet there are moments when honoring what seems like the least in us, that small part in us, may be the most important thing to do. As my own Sufi guide, Moinuddin Jablonski, that's his guide, once told me, sometimes your worst is good enough. What feels small in us may resist the light of consciousness and want to remain hidden in the shadow. When we find the love of the One, the divine, in our own love for this aspect of ourselves, the part of us that feels diminished can be integrated into the soul as the awareness of another divine potential reborn. And yet to accomplish this, we have to overcome our tendency to shy away from looking into the unknown corners of our being. I'll read this story of, he shares a story here of Mullah Nasruddin. Once upon, and if you don't know, Mullah Nasruddin is kind of, he's like the sage that is also seen as the village idiot a lot of the times. So here's the story. Once upon a time, it was late at night, and Mullah Nasruddin was crawling on his hands and knees under a corner streetlight. A close friend discovered him, and thinking that Mullah may be drunk, tried to help. Mullah, do you need help to find your way home? No, my friend, I've lost my key to my house. Here, get down on your hands and knees and help me look. Groaning, Mullah's friend lowered himself onto the hard street and began to crawl around. He made a thorough search, peering into all the crevices of the cobblestones, gradually widening his search. After what seemed like hours, his knees were aching. No luck. Mullah, I've looked everywhere within 30 feet. Are you sure you lost your keys here? No, Mullah says. Actually, I think I lost them about a block away. Near there. Over there. His friend says, Mullah, you idiot. Why are you wasting our time here then? And Mullah says, well, the light is better here. So looking into the dark, means a journey into our depths. Where is the place that we find the least lovable? It may prove to be key to our greatest power and joy. So, if you recall a place in yourself, and if you can bring up the feeling without traumatizing yourself, allow yourself and give yourself permission to feel what you may feel in your heart when this comes up. And if you're not able to feel this, this is okay. Just recite this sound code of Al-Khafid into your heart center and let the vibration from that sound code wash into your heart, and just let it move through your heart and let it wash for you that whatever may be there. Okay, I won't say what's going to be there for you. Let it be your experience. Let it wash for you whatever is in your heart. And take a deep breath again, calling on the essence of pure divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. Putting this stream right in front of your heart space and breathing that in. And we'll call on that essence of Al-Khafid. This is the diminishment. We'll use this and make the intention to allow Al-Khafid, Al-Khafid, Al-Khafid. Allow that to wash through your heart or to wherever you may feel that sense of diminishment in your own body. Let it wash away the defenses that you may have built up, or as we talked about earlier, the unworthiness, that feeling of diminishment, that feeling of humiliation, of shame, and let it wash that, let it cleanse it. If that has been covered over with arrogance or with the boosted ego, let it wash that as well. Let it wash all of that away as it moves through this vibration of Al-Khafid, moves through your heart and moves through your body. Let it wash, okay? And we'll recite this several times and just let it move through your body, and let yourself, again, as you drop into your heart, into this core of your own divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. As you're breathing this in, as it's holding you, as it's surrounding you, as it's emanating through your core, just let yourself witness as this is washed through your heart. Okay, Al-Khafid. The name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, is dropping in, again, breathing into your heart center, dropping into your core. We call on Al-Khafid, the diminishment, the one who lowers, the one who reduces. Let it reduce the defenses, the survival tactics, whatever may be in your way that is covering over this part of you that deeply needs this unconditional love and compassion and acceptance. Al-Khafid, 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 Al-Khafid. Again, reciting this into your heart, breathing in this essence of divine light, unconditional love and eternal compassion, and reciting this name, Al-Khafid, into the depths of your heart, letting it minister to all those blocks and barriers that may be present in your heart, in your mind, in your body, in your soul. Al-Khafid, 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 Al-Khafid. And really let, as everything's washed away, let that place deep inside of you, that place deep inside that is in such deep need of acceptance, of connection, of knowing that it is not alone, it is not forgotten, it is totally beyond worthy of love. It actually is loved, and it is love itself. Let that place in you be touched as all of these blocks and barriers and defenses and survival tactics, strategies are cleansed and released. And let them be washed as this place deep inside of you is touched and fed with love. Al-Khafid, touched, reconnected with its source of love and compassion. Al-Khafid, Al-Khafid, Al-Khafid. And as you let this place inside of you be touched, so allow this to be touched. Let it receive, just invite it to deeply receive this essence of light, love, compassion. Let it be touched. And we call on the next quality, our Raphia. And that's spelled R-A, F as in Frank, I. As that place deep inside of you is touched with light and love and compassion, We call on our Raphia. Raphia. Our Raphia. And let that part in you this is the quality of being elevated, the attribute of being elevated. Let the one in you that is the true, authentic you, the part of yourself that perhaps has been disconnected or left behind or shoved inside, but it is a true part of you that once showed up in all of its fullness and all of its light and all of its spark. Let this part of you receive this quality of our Raphia, Raphia, Raphia. And call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of Raph, Raph, the one who elevates, the exalted. Let this touch right into your heart, into the depths of your being. Let yourself feel redeemed. And Neil Douglas Klotz under our Raphia in the Sufi Book of Life. He says, perhaps right now life is calling you to feel refreshed, redeemed, exalted, and high. As with the previous pathway, Khafid, this could change tomorrow. Enjoy the experience, but don't hold on. The full-grown plant sheds its leaves and returns to earth in its season. So let yourself shed these leaves of protection and let yourself be returned to earth, returned in this new season, returned anew. Our Raphia, our Raph, our Raph. Oh, coffee, our Raph, 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 coffee, our Raph. And if you want to be able to see these names in writing, while this is live on the Community for Conscious Living Prayer and Healing Circle page, you'll see them written on that page underneath the bar, the listening bar. You can see them in the email that was sent out. You can see them on the blog post where the replay is, and joyfullylivingwellness.com in the blog post. You can see them on the Facebook video also, written there. Al-Khafid, Ar-Rafi, 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 Ar-Rafi. And let that part of you be touched by this pure love. All of the attributes carry an immense unconditional love. Let that unconditional love touch into the depths of your being and let it be like a stream of the purest water, the purest medicine for your heart, or your inner child, or your soul. Let that stream right in to the core of your being, to that place that truly needs this connection and needs this medicine, needs this unconditional love and compassion. Rafia, 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 Rafia. And trust in the wisdom of the divine, trust in the magic, the miracles of this vibrational healing. Rafia. Rafia, 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 Rafia. Beautiful. So let yourself breathe that in, let yourself feel it, let yourself experience it, let yourself be lifted. Let yourself be lifted from this place and allow that part of you that has been hidden, that has been covered over, allow that part of you to be lifted. Let it come out of its hiding and really fill the core of your being with that part of yourself. Let it take up space. Give it permission to take up space. Just let your body fill out with this place inside of you that has been compressed. Let it fill you. Let it be elevated. Let it be expanded. Let it really take up space inside your body. Let it receive the love that it has been yearning for. Let it receive the connection, the acceptance. Let it feel itself a part of you, a part of your being, a part that is completely accepted. Let it be redeemed. Let it be esteemed. Feel that part of you becoming present inside yourself. And let that be a part of you that's anchored into your core, that can really be filled when you breathe in this essence of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. Let yourself really take that in and let it fill you. Let it like hydrate the entirety of your being so that you're really taking up the space you're meant to take up in this world. And all of you is showing up, not just the parts of you that you're willing to allow to be seen, but this part of you can be seen too. And this part of you is something that has never been bad or wrong. It's never been, it just was made to feel that way at one time, like it didn't belong, like it was wrong. It was made to feel that way at one time, but that was all false. That was somebody else's stuff. And even if you did make a mistake, we're meant to make mistakes too, and our mistakes are forgiven. So let yourself, if you feel like you need to ask for forgiveness for your mistake, then by all means do that. Just imagine yourself directly face to face with your source. Ask for that forgiveness. Ask for your heart to be washed and cleansed And in forgiveness, there may still be another step of needing to connect with someone. You can decide that if you feel that. There may be that step. For now, just let the divine washing move through your heart and take away the hooks and the attachments and the constrictions that keep you stuck inside of yourself, keep you from fully embodying who you are, and from being able to take those steps to move out and reconcile with people and ask for forgiveness or whatever it is that you may need to do. For now, just be with what's present in yourself and let it be washed, let it be cleansed, let the constrictions, the hooks, the attachments, and the barriers and blocks and all of that just be washed and fully, fully, fully take up your space. Now, continue breathing in that light and love and compassion, breathing all of that in. And as you exhale, drop down into your body. Feel your core energy really dropping into your pelvic space. Feeling your presence inside yourself. Breathe into your heart and take a minute for gratitude. Take a minute for gratitude. Give thanks for what you may have received. And in a minute, we'll be opening for Q&A. If you're on the Facebook page, look for the link there in the header or in the comment section, wherever it is, that will give you the link to where you can go to join us for Q&A. You can join either by phone or by computer, where you type in your responses. That information is there. And I'll be ending the recording and taking the Q&A offline. Now, for those of you who are listening to the recording, you're welcome to join us live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. You can find the information for joining us live at joyfullylivingwellness.com. While you're there, you can pick up your copy of the 10 Spiritual Principles of Our Human Existence. It's a one sheet that you can print out that just gives you 10 principles that this work is based on, that are very simple, that help you to reconnect to the truth of who you are and why you're here, because there are way too many things in this world that bombard us with information that takes us out of our truth and away from our centeredness and our groundedness and our core of who we are. So we owe it to ourselves to print out, or in whatever way we do, to bombard ourselves with information that reminds us of the truth, right? So that we can stay in our truth and live our truth and be that which we wish to be in the world and to see in the world. And as we say, do our personal transformation work for the sake of universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and in our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. So with that, I'm going to end the recordings, and you're welcome to join us for the Q&A.